Hello, dear souls.
Today, I want to speak to the tender places in your heart. The spaces that may have felt abandoned, misunderstood, or unseen. Have you ever found yourself standing at the edge of your own life, watching as familiar connections slip away? As doors quietly close and the invitations cease, you may feel an ache, a deep sense of solitude, as though you've been forgotten. But let me tell you this: you are not forgotten. You are being set apart. Isolation, though painful, is not a punishment. It is a sacred act of transformation. When God pulls you away from the noise of the world, it's not to diminish you, it's to elevate you. He sees something in you that the world cannot yet understand. He shields you because He's preparing you. Behind every season of silence and solitude lies a profound purpose. Often, it is in the stillness that the greatest revelations are born. Today, we will explore together the 7 divine reasons why God isolates His chosen ones. If you've ever felt this way, hidden, distanced, or uninvited, know that this is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. God is shaping you, refining your spirit, and readying you for a calling that only you can fulfill. Before we embark on this journey, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. These messages are meant to reach you at the perfect time, and I want to make sure you never miss what your soul is yearning to hear. So take a deep breath and settle in, because what lies ahead is a discovery of purpose, protection, and divine power. Are you ready? Let's begin. The first reason God isolates the chosen is for your protection. Have you ever yearned to be part of a group, a place, or a connection that seems so inviting, so good on the surface? Perhaps you admired someone or longed to belong, only to find yourself mysteriously distanced from them. In those moments, it can feel like rejection, but let me share a deeper truth. It's not rejection. It's God's divine protection. God sees what you cannot. His vision is vast, encompassing what lies hidden beneath the surface. While certain people or environments may appear harmless or even attractive, there can be unseen intentions or energies that could harm your faith, derail your purpose, or wound your emotional and mental well-being. Out of His infinite love and wisdom, God places a shield between you and those dangers. It's vital to understand that not everyone who enters your life has good intentions. Danger often disguises itself as friendship, and some who seem kind may carry doubts, insecurities, or harmful influences that could divert you from the path God has set for you. When God removes someone or closes a door, He's not taking something from you. He's saving you from what you cannot yet see. I know how painful isolation can feel. The loneliness, the unanswered questions, it's not easy to bear. But in these moments, trust in His plan. Believe that God's hand is moving in your life, protecting you from what could harm you, even when it's unclear why things are happening as they are. This time of isolation is not just about protection, it's a sacred pause to reflect on what truly matters. It's a chance to draw closer to yourself and to God, to strengthen your faith and deepen your discernment. When you let go of what doesn't serve you, you create space for God to bring relationships and opportunities that will uplift and bless you. So if you find yourself feeling distanced or removed, do not resist it. Trust in the process. God is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Let this season of isolation remind you that you are held, cherished, and protected by His loving hands. The second reason God isolates the chosen is to prepare you for something greater. When God sets someone apart, it's never without a purpose. Every person chosen by Him goes through a season of preparation, a sacred process that lays the foundation for their divine calling. Before God reveals you to the world, He works on you in the quiet, unseen places, molding your character, deepening your faith, and equipping you for what lies ahead. Consider the story of David. Even after his incredible victory over Goliath, a moment that brought him into the public eye, David did not ascend to the throne right away. Instead, he was led into a season of trials. He faced deserts, fled from Saul, and had to navigate the challenges of leading difficult men. These struggles were not setbacks. They were steps. God used these moments to refine David, to develop his resilience, wisdom, and trust in the face of adversity. Without this preparation, David could not have become the great king he was destined to be. Like David, you too may find yourself in a period of isolation that feels overwhelming and lonely. But this time is not wasted. God is pruning away what no longer serves you and instilling within you the qualities and strength you'll need for your mission. Patience, resilience, wisdom. These are the tools you're being given in this sacred preparation. It's natural to desire a quick ascent, to want to move forward without delay. But God's timing is perfect, and He does not promote those who are unprepared. This period of isolation is your training ground, your opportunity to grow closer to Him, to discover your true purpose, and to fortify your spirit for the journey ahead. Every challenge you face now, every quiet moment of solitude, is shaping you into the person God needs you to be. Trust this process. Believe that the waiting, the refining, and the preparation are paving the way for something extraordinary. So, if you're in this season of isolation, don't rush through it. Embrace it as a sign that God is working in you and for you. He is preparing you for a purpose so profound that when the time comes, you will step into it fully equipped, ready to shine, and fulfill the incredible destiny He has designed for you. The third reason God isolates the chosen is to empower you. Have you ever noticed that isolation often comes hand in hand with challenges? It may feel overwhelming, but these trials are not random. God allows these moments to teach and strengthen you. In the solitude, you begin to uncover hidden abilities, gifts, and strengths you didn't know you possessed. Let's revisit David's story. Before he became king, David was tasked with leading a group of men society deemed outcasts. These were not noble warriors or polished leaders. They were men carrying their own burdens, brokenness, and struggles. Yet under David's leadership, they became his loyal and mighty soldiers. This was no easy feat. It required patience, understanding, and the ability to see potential where others saw weakness. Through this process, David learned to lead with wisdom and compassion, preparing him for the greater role God had in store. In the same way, your isolation is not meant to weaken you, but to refine and empower you. God uses this time to develop your patience, resilience, and wisdom. He allows you to face rejection, criticism, and difficulty so that you can grow stronger, more prepared to fulfill your calling. These moments are not punishments. They are lessons, shaping you into the leader and force for good that God knows you can be. Remember, God hides those He is preparing to reveal at the perfect time. Your current invisibility is not a sign of insignificance. It's a sign that God is working within you, shaping your character and strengthening your faith. He's empowering you to stand firm when your moment comes, ready to face the world with grace and confidence. When God decides to reveal His chosen, it happens in such a way that no one can deny His power and presence in their lives. The waiting may be hard, and the challenges may test you, but trust in His timing. He knows exactly when and how to unveil your purpose. If you feel hidden or overlooked right now, know that this is part of God's divine plan. He is preparing the stage, clearing the way, and fortifying your spirit, so that when the time comes, you can step into your destiny with full strength. Trust this process. Have faith in the empowerment happening in this sacred season of isolation. When your time arrives, you will shine so brightly that the world will see and know that it was God's hand guiding you all along. The fourth reason God isolates the chosen is to elevate you. Before God raises someone to a place of honor, He often hides them away. This period of concealment is not a punishment, but a sacred preparation for something extraordinary. Think of Joseph, whose story reminds us that even the most painful seasons serve a divine purpose. He was isolated by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and imprisoned. But each of these hardships was a step on the path to his destiny. When the time was right, God revealed Joseph to the world, elevating him to the position of governor over Egypt. In the same way, your isolation is not a sign of rejection or failure. It is a divine announcement that something new and incredible is about to begin. When God decides to reveal His chosen one, no force on earth can stop that unveiling. It is a moment so profound that everyone will recognize it was God's hand at work. If you feel hidden right now, overlooked or unappreciated, take heart. This period of invisibility is God's way of preparing you for elevation. He is shaping your character, strengthening your faith, and refining your heart to handle the blessings and responsibilities that lie ahead. Isolation is not the end of your journey. It is the foundation upon which God is building your future. Look at the lives of Moses, Elijah, Jesus, Paul, and Joseph. Each of them faced long periods of solitude, but those moments were far from wasted. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness, tending sheep, before God called him to lead Israel. Elijah retreated to the desert, where he encountered God's gentle whisper that restored his spirit. Jesus fasted and prayed in the wilderness for 40 days, preparing for the mission that would change humanity. Paul withdrew to the Arabian desert to deepen his faith before becoming one of the greatest apostles. Their stories teach us that isolation is not about retreat, it's about transformation. God uses these moments to mold us, teach us, and prepare us for the greatness ahead. Just as He did with them, He is working in you right now. Every difficulty, every moment of loneliness, is shaping you for a purpose that will glorify Him. Declare with faith, "I am chosen." By saying this, you are embracing God's plan for your life, even in moments of solitude. Trust that He is working behind the scenes, removing distractions, and preparing your heart for a new phase of elevation. When the time comes, God's revelation of you will be undeniable. The work He has done in your life will shine so brightly that it will be a living testimony of His power and faithfulness. You are not hidden to be forgotten. You are hidden to be prepared. So do not be discouraged by this season of isolation. Instead, see it as a sacred opportunity for growth, renewal, and transformation. Keep your faith strong and your heart open, knowing that God is guiding you every step of the way. The best is yet to come, and when it arrives, you will be ready to embrace the fullness of the purpose God has prepared for your life. Your journey is not over, it's just beginning. Stay strong, beloved, and trust in His perfect timing. The fifth reason God isolates the chosen is to deepen your relationship with Him. In the stillness of isolation, God calls you closer. Away from the distractions, the noise, and the expectations of the world, He creates a sacred space where you can hear His voice more clearly. This solitude is not about separating you from others. It's about connecting you with Him. Throughout the Bible, we see examples of God using isolation as a time for intimacy and communion. Consider Jesus withdrawing to the mountains to pray, or Moses spending 40 days on Mount Sinai, receiving divine revelation. These moments of solitude were not just about preparation. They were about encountering God on a deeper level. When you are removed from the busyness of life, it's an invitation to lean into His presence. God desires to draw near to you, to speak to your heart, and to fill you with the peace and wisdom that only He can provide. In this space, your faith is strengthened, your trust grows, and your spirit is renewed. Isolation can feel lonely, but it's in this quiet that you begin to realize you are never truly alone. God is with you, walking beside you, holding you through every challenge. He uses this time to remind you of His promises, to teach you how to rely on Him fully, and to deepen the bond between you and Him. This season is not meant to break you. It's meant to draw you closer to the One who created you. As you spend time in prayer, reflection, and stillness, you'll find that His love surrounds you in ways you never imagined. The world may feel distant, but God's presence becomes your refuge. So if you feel isolated, see it as an invitation to turn inward, to listen for His voice, and to grow in your relationship with Him. Trust that in this sacred solitude, He is revealing His heart to you, preparing you not just for a greater purpose, but for a deeper understanding of who He is and how deeply He loves you. This connection, this relationship, is the foundation of everything God has planned for you. Embrace this time as a gift, a holy opportunity to walk closer with Him. When the world feels far away, He is drawing near, and that is the greatest blessing of all. The sixth reason God isolates the chosen is to reveal your true identity. In isolation, you are stripped of the roles, expectations, and labels placed on you by the world. This can feel unsettling, but it's in these quiet moments that God begins to show you who you truly are, not who others think you are, but who He created you to be. When you're no longer surrounded by the noise of external validation or the pressure to conform, you can finally hear the truth of your soul. God uses this time to remind you that your worth is not tied to your achievements, relationships, or the approval of others. Your identity is rooted in Him, in His love, and in the unique purpose He has placed within you. Think of Gideon in the Bible. He was hiding in fear, believing he was the least important in his family, but God called him a mighty warrior. In isolation, God spoke directly to Gideon's heart, revealing a strength and purpose he didn't know he had. Similarly, God uses your time of solitude to remove the masks you've worn, the fears you've carried, and the doubts that have clouded your vision. This process of discovery can be challenging because it requires facing parts of yourself that you've ignored or misunderstood. But it is also liberating. In isolation, God teaches you to see yourself as He sees you, chosen, loved, and capable of great things. When you emerge from this season, you do so with a renewed sense of self. You no longer seek approval from the world because you've found your identity in the Creator. You understand your value, your gifts, and the unique calling placed upon your life. This clarity becomes your foundation as you step into the next chapter of your journey. If you feel lost or uncertain about who you are during this time, trust that God is revealing the truth to you. He is peeling away the layers of doubt and insecurity to show you the incredible person He created you to be. Allow Him to speak into your heart, to guide you, and to remind you of the power and purpose that lies within you. This season of isolation is not about losing yourself. It's about finding the real you, the you God always intended you to be. Trust in this process and embrace the unveiling of your true identity. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to take a deep breath and reflect on everything we've explored today. If you've ever felt hidden, set apart, or misunderstood, know this: your isolation is not the end. It's the beginning of something extraordinary. It's God's way of protecting, preparing, empowering, elevating, drawing you closer, and revealing who you truly are. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. Every challenge, every quiet moment is shaping you for a purpose greater than you can imagine. So hold on to your faith, trust the process, and embrace this sacred season as a sign of the incredible things to come. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments by declaring, "I am chosen." Write it, say it, believe it, because it's the truth of who you are. And if you feel inspired, share this video with someone who may need these words today. You never know how much a simple message can touch a heart. Before we go, make sure you're subscribed to our channel Wisdom Warrior so you never miss a message meant for your soul. Together, we're building a community of light, faith, and inspiration, and I'm so grateful to have you here on this journey. Until next time, stay strong, stay faithful, and remember, you are chosen, you are loved, and the best is yet to come. See you in the next video.